In today's video, we will take a look on current home pricing appreciation statewide, future home price appreciation, and of course, our local real estate market report in Southwest Florida. My name is Anna Eckstein, Naples Ultimate Luxury Group, MVP Realty. Let's start. All right, so let's take a look at current home price appreciation. And this is chart I would like to share with you is 1 year change in percent appreciation in the top 20 cities. And you can see the average nationwide in US, the appreciation rose by 5.1% for the year of 2023. You can see Atlanta area 5.9%, as much as Detroit 8.2%. So Portland, you can see a little bit negative number. So if we take a look at average seasonal adjusted home price actual appreciation, we can take a look that in the 2023, we actually were above average for the home appreciation. Average 43-year home appreciation would be 4.86%. And you can see this is our financial crisis we had. You can see decline of the housing market back then. So if we take a look, sourced by Freddie Mac, what happened, the percentage of the home price appreciation happened for the 30 years, it's December to December. In 30 years, its home appreciation on average happened 297%. 10 years, you can see 103%, 5 year, 54% in 1 year, its average is 7%. So what happened to the future home appreciation? I would like to share with you some of the stats that I found. And you can see that the source will be below. And you can see the gold, all of the sources below. They're all projecting actually home appreciation for 2024. And this is actually data being collected at the end of the January of this year. And you can see the only realtor.com who actually projection on home appreciation is declining. And this is actually, so on the left, you can see the original forecast home appreciation for 2024. You can see again sources over here. And this is being done in November. And you can see currently they revise all the numbers and they're all in the upper revision from all of the experts. So we'll see what happens. I always say you never know what the future can hold, and we'll see. Definitely economy, and we in very interesting point of the state of the economy, and we'll see what the home appreciation continue go on, or there's and we will have the magic soft landing, or that would be a something more to this story later on, as we continue see what happens. So the reason, so this is some of the quotes. I'm not going to read all of them. If you guys like to pause and just read it, but a lot of the experts, they are very optimistic about the interest rate going down in 2024. As we know, the last federal Fed meeting that we had, they decided to leave the interest rate as it is, which is 5.5%. So, and you can see for each of the economists, and they're all optimistic to see the interest rates actually at the end of the 2024 below 6%. And as we've been talking on the channel, we'll see how the inflation is going down, and federal government, obviously, Mr. Powell been spoken and optimistically give market expectation the interest rate will be dropped at some point through the 2024, and the expectation was in the beginning maybe March rates drop. As we know, the last inflation report that we was reading for the month of January, actually inflation at the last reading was on the upper uptick. And if you do like to hear economic update video, I decided to make a separate videos moving forward because my videos was really long, and I just decided to break them down actually on a smaller video. So I will link at the link below of this video, the video about the economic update for January 2024. So if you would like to learn more about the inflation, PCE data, PPI data, and other interest economic data, please watch the video. So this is the Fannie Mae mortgage expectation for 2024. And you can see that by the fourth quarter, we actually, expectation is the mortgage will be below 6%. So we'll see what happens. And that's something that I, like many buyers will say, well, Anna, do you think this is real estate market will continue to deteriorate and continue to go down? And every market is very different. I just shared on the beginning of this video that majority of the markets actually in 2023, they were up through the United States, but I'm sure there's some parts in the United States actually not as going up as some other parts. So every market is very unique and very different. And if you're thinking of purchasing the home in Southwest Florida, I would love to be service to you and to your family, and would love to help to achieve your real estate goals, regardless if you're thinking of selling or purchasing home in Southwest Florida, and guide you through the your real estate journey here. But if you're thinking of different cities, and you have to contact your real estate professional up there and really understand the market where you're at, because the market is very different. Even compare in Southwest Florida, some of the communities completely doing differently compare between each other. So even within Southwest Florida market, you can still see the difference. So if this video will be a little bit different, because this video I will cover from November, December, and January market condition in Southwest Florida. And we will start with active inventory. So active inventory is a number of the property listings that are active at the end of each month. And we always compare single family homes and condos and townhouses compared to a year what happened, and compared to the 30 days. And you can see the active inventory is on the rise in the month of the December, regardless what city you look in. On the middle, you can see the city that we always covering in this market report, or any others for that matter of fact, Naples, Marco Island, Bonita Springs, Estero. You can also see the number of the active inventory actually on the middle based on those cities. And then you can see they're all on a rise, regardless, again, if you look in year or 30 days. So if we take a look at December, compare again to a year ago and 30 days, you can see that active inventory continue to be on the rise for most of the parts. And then now we look in January of 2024. So January 2024, you can see also the inventory is on the rise, regardless which city you look in. And you can see as much as 161% for the condos in active inventory rose in Estero in January 2024 compared to just a year ago. You can also take a look, if you look in single family homes, the same concept in Estero, there's just so much more active inventory by 97%. And as little as Marco Island added to a year ago by 10%. But you can see, regardless what it is the inventory, active inventory definitely stays on the market. What does that mean for you if you buyer? There's definitely more homes to look at. And I personally really enjoy to have more homes for sale, because you can definitely have a better choice of homes to see, and you can choose a home what is the best fit for you and for your family. And if you're a seller, yes, you have to be more thinking of how you can be different from other homes that is on the market. So creative marketing, presentation of your home. There's definitely valuable tips that I would love to share with you. And if you do like to have competitive market analysis for your home, I would love to provide to you at your convenient time. Would like, if you like, there can be video market report, or I can meet you in person. All right, so let's move on to the new listings. It's how many listings actually came on the market for the months. So in this situation, we again reviewing the November, and you can see across the board, especially compared to a year ago, the majority of the cities we did added new listings in November. And except Bonita Springs for the single-family homes, we actually did decrease by 13%. Compared to the 30 days, you can see it's kind of mixed, some up, some down. Marco Island increase in single-family home inventory, new listings by 42%. So for the months of December, you can see also increase for most of the parts between condos and single-family homes compared to a year ago. Compared to the 30 days, you can see there's actually a little bit decrease. That may have to do with more of holidays coming in December, things like that. But you can see across the board there actually been a decrease in the new listing flow for the month of December in 2023. And now we look in the January. So the January, this is our season. So if the seller was thinking to put the property on the market, generally they wouldn't put in December. They generally would start putting the properties on the market in January because this is when season starts in Southwest Florida. So you can see across the board, we definitely added inventory, and compared to 30 days, you can see compared to the just December, right? There's 100%, there's 193% more new listing being added in Estero for condos, and you can see up to 101% more single-family homes added in Estero as well. So definitely Estero buyers stepping in and say, well, I'm selling my house, goes on the market. And you can also compare to a 12 months ago, you can see that we definitely added more inventory, new listings in January 2024 compared to January 2023, except Marco Island. So you can see they actually inventory for single family home. It's interesting because it's actually down by 7%, but the condo is up by 38%. So if we take a look to a month supply of inventory, this is the estimates of number of months it will take actually to sell your property. And on the middle, you can see that on average in Naples, if you seller of a single family home, on average, again, because every community is so different, it's take you 5.4 months to sell your home. If you're in Marco Island, it's 7.5 months would take on average to sell. And look, if you're in Marco Island and you're the homeowner who trying to sell the condo, it will take you over 8 months to sell the condo. So you can compare actually, and this is in November, right? So in November, you can see that how long would take to sell your condo or house in Southwest Florida, they all increase not only from the 30-day period, but also from the year ago period as well. As much as, take a look at these numbers, it's crazy. This is just showing to you the 12 months, how much really we added inventory. Is take you now longer to sell to a year ago if you have a condo in Estero by 255%. This is a huge number, guys, if you really think like in 1 year period, how much we really added inventory to the market. And you can see compared to the 30 days, it's the same concept. Look in the months of December, that would be the same thing. So for majority part, if you compare to a year ago, as much as 200% in Estero, look, if you have house in Estero, it's take you up to 125% more, longer to sell the house compared to a year ago. That's how much, again, we added in those inventory in the months of December. To the 30-day period, it's kind of a little mix here and there, but it's still definitely take longer to sell the home in Southwest Florida if we comparing. So if we compare it to January of this year, you can see on the middle as well, the Marco Island, the condo increase to 9.8 months in January. So it's definitely on the rise. You can see the across the board, except the Marco Island, actually decrease on a single family home, how many months you can actually sell your property. And if you compare to condos, it's actually increased by 100%. So if we take a look showing per listing, this is our foot traffic. It's how many, on average, buyers would see your property before the property goes under contract. So you can you can see, and this is, we're talking about November, right? So you can see actually a decrease for majority parts compared to a year ago. In November 2022, a little increase in September, little increase in Estero by 47%. And you can see the foot traffic is decreased for majority parts, even compared to the 30 days ago. Little increase in Marco by 6% and 4% in Marco Island as well for the condos. So there's definitely, in November, there's a little bit more foot traffic. The number of people would see the property would increase by 6 and 4%. So if we go into a December and we take a look at that, you can see that the number of the showings is definitely decreased for majority part compared to a year ago, and for majority part compared even to the 30 days ago. So if we're looking for a January and we compare the data as well, you can see that less showings would also decrease as much as 31% in Naples for the January compared to a year ago. And across the board for the condos compared to a year ago as well. And compared to the 30 days, it's actually number of showings increase just compared to the 30 days ago until for the active listings per month. So if we take a look, pending inventory, that's the list of the properties that were that went actually under contract for the months. And you can see that a pending inventory for the month of November is compared to a year ago. So you definitely can see that the number of the properties that goes under contract is definitely less, as much as 20% in Estero. But you can see it's interesting because in Bonita, for the condos and the Marco Island, the number of those properties that went under contract is actually increased as much as 40% in Bonita. The Naples is decreased for the condo compared to a year ago in November, and Estero is flat. Compared to 30 days in November, you can see some decrease, some increase, as much as 57% on the condos increase in Marco Island. So if we look at December, you can see that December is really increased compared to the last year. And I will tell you guys, like for me personally, I felt the fourth quarter was really weak compared to any fourth quarters, especially December. Like December generally for me, one of pretty busy months because many people would try to get in to Southwest Florida and secure something for the season so they can have the home to come enjoy before even the season. There's a lot of tax year reasons why people would also decided to secure the property for the before the end of the year. So I felt that it was very slow, but and you can see actually across the board in December is definitely we are down as much as 123% in Marco Island for single family homes in pending sales. Also, compared to the 30 days, we can see across the board pretty much down, except Marco Island is up with single family homes as much as 45%. And also the Marco is really on fire in December. The people was putting those properties under contract for the season. So you can see it's up as much as 36%, 45% for the single family homes. So if we take a look, the January, you can see, and by the way, on the middle, you can see actually how many homes went pending for each city based on condo or single family homes. And you can see that, so we did see some movements for a single family homes as much as 45% compared to a year ago in Marco Island. That's a pending transactions, right? As much as 18% for single family homes. Naples, you can see, is down by 12%. And for the condos, you can see also it's actually up by 37% in Marco Island to a year ago, and as down as 4% Bonita Springs. Compared to the 30 days ago, you can see that across the board, we are up in the pending inventory. So January is definitely will start getting a little bit busy compared to December. So let's take a look, medium percentage of the last listed price that actually went under contract. That's how much on average the buyers negotiated and the sellers was letting go. So on the middle, you can see that percentage. And you can see compared to November, you can see across the board is actually lower, the percentage, not by much. Compared to a year ago, the Naples is up by 0.2%. And pretty much across the board is up the percentage, how much is change the medium percentage price. It's up across the board except Marco Island minus 0.2%. For the for the December, you can also see that across the board, compared to a year ago, is down, except Naples and Bonita Springs, up as much as 0.7%. And compared to the 30 days in November, some up, some down, compared to the 30-day period. So if we look in January, again, on the middle, you can see the percentage. And across the board, you can see compared to a year ago, it is down. And compared to the 30 days, there's some up, some down. And let's take a look. The medium per square foot price. So that's the medium per square foot price being recorded on the middle. You can see based on the cities. And compared to a year ago, there's some up, some down, medium price per square foot. You can see actually it's interesting because Bonita Springs is actually up by 11%. And Estero is up by 7%. So this is November compared to the November of 2022. Marco Island actually lost 1%. And Naples, it lost 5% actually from a medium price per square foot. So the Naples is 359. Now, this is just the average. Guys, you have to understand, if you look in every neighborhood, have their own price per square foot. And again, if you're a buyer, you're looking to move to Southwest Florida, I would love to sit down and give you more understanding of how each neighborhood look like, what's your lifestyle, things like that. So if we compare to a 30 days, you can see the medium price per square foot actually was for single family homes, actually was up by as much as 5% in Estero. Naples is actually down on single family homes by 3%. This is comparison to the 30 days. And if we compare for the condos, you can see the 30 days as down as much as 10% in Marco Island. If we look in December, you also can pause, take a look at this chart. You can see that Naples, Bonita Springs for single family homes up as much as 14% compared to a year ago. Interesting enough, Marco Island is down on single family homes by 11%. For a 30-day period, you can see there's some up, some down, as much as up 13% in Naples. And on condos as well, some up, some down, as much as 10% in Naples for condos up. So January. So what happened in January? So January, we definitely up compared even to a year ago as much as Bonita Springs, 19%. That's really nice, actually. That as much as 19%, that's a lot. Estero down by 1%. For a 30-day period, you can see Marco Island as up as 15%. And for townhouses and condominiums, you can see the Marco Island is up as 20%, Bonita down as much as 10%. And this is, guys, medium price per square foot, right? So if you would take, let's say you have 1,000 square feet house, this is how much you would pay per square foot on average in Southwest Florida. And you can see the actually January is compared to the 30-day period in Marco Island as much as 20%. Medium sales price. So again, we're talking about medium. So if we take all the homes that sells in an area, medium sales price reported for the month of November. And you can see that for majority parts on single family homes is up as much as in Bonita, 21% in November. For condos, Bonita again up as much as 18%. For compared to a 30 days period, look, the Marco Island is up by 25%. And for the condos, the Marco Island down is 21%, actually quite interesting. If we take a look, December, again, this is your medium sales price. And you can see for single family homes, there's some up, some down, as much as up 22% in Bonita Springs compared to the 1 year period. And for a townhomes and condos, you can see as much as up in Naples, 14%, Marco Island down 14%. 30-day period, you can see that for single family homes, Estero down as 6% and Bonita Springs up as much as 15%. For the condos, you can see Marco Island as much as up as 13%, Naples up 13% as well. And Bonita actually on the condos, medium sales price is down by 9%. So this is our January. And if we take a look in January, you can see across the board compared to a year ago, medium sales price is up as much as 14% in Marco Island on single family homes. In Estero, as much as 28% on the condos. And you can also see compared to the 30 days ago, the Bonita is down on single family homes as much as 15%. But on the condos, actually, interesting enough, the Bonita Springs is up as much as 15%. So if we take a look at dollar volume is, if you added all the sales prices for all sold properties which close during the month of November, and you can see this dollar amount again by city, breaking down single family homes and condos, you can see on the middle. And if you compare that to a year ago, you can see that there's some up and down as much as in Marco Island, 24%, Estero is 25%, but the Naples, guys, dollar volume is actually down by 33% compared to a year ago. For the condos, compared to a year ago, you can see Estero is up as much as 15%. Marco Island actually is down by 6%. Now, if you can compare this to the 30-day period, you can see the Marco Island is down as 32%. Estero is up by 23% on dollar volume for single family homes. And for the Marco Island, for the condos, the dollar volume is up by 33%. And Estero, oh gosh, that's up by 56%, even compared to the 30-day period. So if we look in that for the December, you can see that across the board, for compared to the 30-day period on a dollar volume, you can see across the board it's some up, some down, as much as single-family homes up by 56%. In Marco Island, the Bonita Springs down as much as 19%. The 69% up on the dollar volume in the condos when it comes to Bonita Springs. And Estero, for the same condos, is down by 44%. Now, comparing to the 30-day period, you can see the Naples is up for single-family homes by 52%. Marco Island is up actually by 50%, and Estero is down actually 23%. And you can see across the board, except Estero down on the condos in dollar volume for the months of the December by 42%. Marco Island is up by 15%. And let's take a look at January, what happened here. Interesting, because January, actually, dollar volume in Marco Island is up to a year ago comparison as much as 133% in Marco Island. Wow. So that's interesting enough. So in Marco Island in January 2024, was sold $75,884,000 worth of single-family homes in the month of January, and it's up by 133% compared to a year ago. So we on the condos, compared to a year ago, we are up as 47% in Marco Island. You can see the Naples and Bonita Springs. Bonita Springs down as much as 42%. And again, the numbers is on the middle. That's your dollar volume. Compared to 30 days ago, you can see Marco Island is up as much as 50%. The Naples is down as 13% on single-family homes. And on the condos, you can see that Estero is up as 30%. And Naples is down as 20% on the condos. And this is dollar volume for a month of January. And this will be last three. This is our last slide for closed sales, but we will have 3 slides because we look in November, December, and January. So if we take a look on the middle, this is how many number of homes actually closed in the month of November in 2023. And if we compare actually to a year ago, you can see that Marco Island is up as 21% more sales closed in Marco Island compared to a year ago. The Naples is down as much as 13%. This is in the month of November. For the condos, you can see the Marco Island lost some closed sales, some transactions as much as 7%, 8% less closed transactions on the condos were in Bonita Springs. You can see that 15% is more condos, townhomes sold more in Estero compared to a year ago in the month of November. Now, if we're comparing to the 30-day period, you can see for most of the parts are up on single-family homes, as much as 29% in Marco Island. The Naples in November is down compared to 30 days ago, is 21%. So we definitely saw some weakness in Naples market, especially when it came to the fourth quarter. The townhouses and condos, you can see the Naples was up actually by 1%. Marco stayed flat, and Bonita lost some closed sales by as much as 13%, and Estero is up by 42%. So if we take a look the months of the December, you can see that for most of the parts, we are down in a single-family homes as much as 25% in closed sales less in December of last year compared to a year ago. And Marco Island, surprisingly, actually up by 38%. So you see how Southwest Florida is, you know, for me, it's absolutely beautiful area, but how differently reacting just to different segments of the market. That's why I say, like, even when you compare community to community, like these numbers would be completely different. So, and if you compare to a condos to 12 months period, you can see the Naples is down by 20% in December. So yeah, remember guys, when I told you that it felt very fourth quarter, very slow. You can see Estero is down on the condos as in the closed transaction as much as 39%. 39% compared to a year ago. So there's 39% less transaction closed in December of 2023 condos in Estero compared to a year ago. Bonita is, interestingly enough, it's 50% is up on the condos closings, which is very quite interesting. So compared to a 30-day period, you can see that for majority, well, some up, some down, it's up as much as 29% in Marco Island for single-family homes. And Marco Island did really well on the condos closed sales as well, as much as 12%. The Estero struggles as much as down by 36% just compared to 30 days ago. So you can see that December was even comparing for the condos when it came to the Estero, you can see it's down to a year ago by 39%, but even month to month is down to the 36%. So this is our last chart for today. And we're reviewing the January closings. So what happened in the month of January? Here's your numbers for each city. And you can see the even January compared to a single family homes, you can see that we had the last closings as much as 39% in Bonita Springs. You can see actually the only Marco is doing well. They had more closings in January compared to a year ago, as much for single family homes, as much as 113%. And guys, look what it's doing. In Marco Island is actually compared to even 30 days ago is up by 45%. But look what all of these guys doing. They're not doing well. Compared to 30 days ago, in Naples is down by 20%. Bonita is down by 29% on single family home closings. So think about and Estero down as much 30 days period, as much as 7%. And here the numbers, Naples to a year ago comparison is down by 15% Naples, 39% Bonita, 11% Estero. Yeah, this numbers doesn't look good at all. And compared to condos, you can see that Naples lost to a year ago 15% on condos, the Bonita 17%. Estero and Marco Island actually gain on the condos as much as 29%. In regards to the 30-day period, you can see that for majority parts, we are down in closing sales as much as 23% on Bonita Springs, and Estero is actually up by 20%. I hope you find this video valuable for you and for your family. If you're a buyer and you're thinking of moving to Southwest Florida, I would love to be your real estate resource, and I would love to help you to achieve your real estate goals in Southwest Florida. If you're a seller and you're thinking of selling your home, I would love to provide you comprehensive market analysis and show my marketing resources, how to stand your property out from other homes in Southwest Florida. My name is Anna Eckstein, Naples Ultimate Luxury Group. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel below, and I will see you in the next video.